Hey, welcome back. I spent the last day with the family clearing a bunch of space, knocking some holes in the ground all through the food forest and in bits of wasteland around the house in order to plant corn and pigeon peas. So what I have here, one pocket is corn, one pocket is pigeon peas. And as you see, this is a flint corn. Some sort of a flint corn. Grain corn. But it's a local variety, open pollinated, that I got from a friend. And the reason I decided to go ahead and plant corn, even though it's not the rainy season, is what happens if this virus keeps spreading? It would be a good idea to have some staple food in the ground, right? So I said, all right, we're just gonna go clear a whole bunch of space and put in some corn and put in some pigeon peas. The pigeon peas aren't gonna produce for 10 months or so, but the corn will be about 90 to 110 days, somewhere thereabouts, Lord willing. And then in between we're gonna plant some pumpkins. So since, you know, this is the dry season, we have been getting a little rain. I'm gonna have to carry water to get it started, but it's not that big a deal. Today it's looking like it might actually rain. If it poured tonight, that would be perfect. All these would be set. And if you notice, the spacing is pretty good. They're 4-foot spacing. Each little hill has a little cluster of corn in it. 4 corn seeds, 3 pigeon peas. That's how we do it. So I got my fork back from the States. This is a Clarington Forge fork. I have a matching spade that goes with it. This thing is awesome. It doesn't bend in the ground here, which is really good. It's hard ground, it doesn't bend. But what we did is we went just straight down through here, butchered the grass down with a weed eater, and then I've been clearing around the trees, put the corn in, and then here and there I'm going to put in some pumpkin hills and kind of mix it up. This is a really nice thing that you can do in your food forest before the food forest really gets big, because once these trees in here get big, it's all over for annual crops because there won't be enough sunshine. But right now we have a nice slope and the sun goes across the sky like this. So this whole area is usually pretty sunny, and with the trees being so small, you know, why not? Now, the pigeon peas are not my favorite thing to eat. They're way too much work and they don't digest very well. However, they're a good protein staple if we actually need them. And if we don't actually need them, they're a really good nitrogen fixer and biomass crop for the food forest. So I get double duty out of it. If I have to eat it, I eat it. If not, I just chop them up and let them grow back now and again, use them for a chop and drop, and then they feed all of my trees, which is nice. And as you can see, we got a good bit of trees going in here now, and they're looking pretty good. I guess you guys haven't really seen the food forest in a while. It's been covered in vines and brush and everything as we've been building. Now that I moved over here, I'm coming through here and there and just taking those vines out of there and cleaning stuff up, you know. And then I've got the occasional Lucana like this guy that started on its own and I just cleared around it. I'm letting it grow for the nitrogen fixation. But this method of putting in a couple of corn seeds and a few pigeon pea seeds really works well in this climate. Some of you guys I know were trying it in Florida, so I'd be interested to know how that goes. But you basically just hack your holes in the ground 4 feet apart, and you plant a little cluster of corn, and you can plant the peas in it too, which may reduce your corn yields a little bit. I'm not sure, but what happens is the corn produces, and you know, it's 90 to 110 days, and then some months later, once you cut the corn down, the pigeon peas really take off, and then they go ahead and make a great big bush which produces for you later in the year. So planting at this time of year, let's see, it's February, March, April, May, we should be getting corn by then, and then June, July, August, September, October, pigeon peas start coming in. So it's a lot longer after that. And so long as we just keep string trimming around the area, keep the brush from coming up, and keep the vines from coming up, they'll produce. So as that happens, I will film some more and let you see, but this is just our quick, let's get some stuff in the ground, just in case. It's a good idea. Obviously there was a gardener here before us. Check this out. These are tools we found so far, just in the last week of clearing. Isn't that crazy? So let me back up a little bit here. This area right here is the top of our rock wall, and I've been moving these big rocks and wrestling them into place to make this usable. You see, I've got another little set of rocks down here. It's almost like a cool herb spiral thing going on. And down here, see, look at this. There's like little pockets that I can plant things into. One of my sons has already used it to plant his cactus collection down here. You can see some of it. But I'm kind of clearing it and making sense out of it and then putting the rocks in to hold the dirt back. So what we've gotten done so far in our prepping, this whole area here has now been planted with corn right on up past the Balimbi. Right on up to here, and we're just waiting for a really good rain to bring everything up. You know, we could spray it with a hose, but that doesn't mean that it's going to bring them up, and it's a lot to spray with a hose. So this whole area here is corn and peas, and then around down past the slab there is corn and peas, and then this area here we've been clearing out. See, right up to my edible heads. This is cleared, but there's nothing planted in here yet. Found a passion fruit right there, which needs some support. But see, here's some of my edible hedge. The edible leaf hibiscus, and there's some neem, which is not technically edible, but it's useful. And then the noni down there. So I'm kind of moving my way up, clearing as we go, and getting this like scalped down to the ground, because this next section here, the next thing I'm going to plant is pumpkins. So pumpkins can scramble along the ground, but we got to get these weeds and perennial things out of here that aren't supposed to be here, while protecting the stuff that is, like this tamarind right here. So there are bits and shreds of tarp all over the place, because I had a tarp over a bamboo frame up here. I had no idea it would deteriorate this way and fall into little bits and mess the ground up. So I've got to come out here and rake it. What we've been doing as we're clearing, instead of burning up here, I'm saving the biomass and sticking it underneath this beautiful grapefruit tree right here. Oh yeah, that's a gorgeous tree, isn't it? I love the way citrus look. And then this will just rot down here, and I can always dig into it and use it for other stuff if I like. And you know, we'll see what happens. It'll be good to have this here. If it just rots down nicely, it'll probably, some of it will reroot and vines will get over it and stuff, but you know, even if we don't get usable compost out of it, at least the tree is going to get fed from what's rotting. I don't know if you guys are worried about the virus. I figure it's a good idea to have food in the ground no matter what happens, and it was a good impetus. Hey, things aren't looking so hot in China, so maybe we should do a little bit of planting and planning ahead, because it looks like this thing could be coming our way. But if it doesn't, well, we still have food. So there we go. Guys, let me know what you think in the comments, and what you're doing, how you're preparing, and if you just think I'm overreacting. I was going to plant anyways. This was a good way to panic everybody into doing the work for me. Hey fam, you want to die of a virus? Do you want to plant corn? I think we need to plant corn in Daddy's food forest, don't we? Yeah, no, not really. It's just a good idea. So, catch you guys next time. And until then, may your thumbs always be green. We're all gonna die.